Hello there. Let me introduce you the upcoming features for 3D Onion skinning, which I would like to say thank you everybody for supporting the tool. In the first month, we had more than 300 people supporting the project, which makes me available to invest more of my time and energy developing this tool. And I'm really happy to announce the upcoming features. And also, I would like to invite you, if you are already a user of 3D Onion skinning, to beta test these new features that I've just finishing implementing. So let's take a look on a new row we have here in the interface, which presents skip and offset. So let's create a Onion skinning for this character right here. So let's press generate and take maybe another frame. Let's come here. I went too far. Where I was. Here we go. Here. So now this is the full behavior of the software. We are baking every step on the animation, every frame. But when we introduce skipping, it's going to skip one frame after every baked frame. So let's press generate. And now we are going to see a baked frame, a skipped one, baked, skipped, baked, skipped. And also if we use offset, because when skipped is turned on, offset becomes available. So now you can also offset. So we have baked the first frame and then skip the second one. But now we are going to skip the first one and bake the second, and then we repeat that pattern. So as you can see, we skip this one and then we bake the next one, skipped, baked, bake. That's going to help you to probably bake wider ranges of motion with less data, which helps you not bottlenecking too much your hard driver. You'll make also these visualizations more quick to generate, because less data you are creating when you are skipping frames on the desired range. So talking about efficiency and improving the amount of data to be processed, there is another button you're going to see right here in the menu. Looks like a decimate modifier button, and that is exactly what it's going to do when we press this button right here. So I'm going to see everything in wireframe, because now when you press this button right here, a dialog box gonna request you to set values for a decimate object operator. So I'm just gonna press OK, and you're going to see that now the Spider-Man became less dense in terms of topology. And if I generate my bake from here, that it's going to use that proxy, decimated proxy. So again, that's going to help you to break wider ranges of motion, because now your source is more optimized. So this feature is pretty cool, I guess. So now I would like to talk about the other one. You're probably wondering, what are these bone buttons doing here? So let's take a look on them. First of all, I'm just going to press decimate again, which it's going to discard our proxy decimated mesh, and we'll bring back the original one. And I'm going to bypass this original one because I don't want to generate my own skinning using this mesh right here, right now. Now I want to introduce another feature that's going to use constrained objects to bones. This is a feature suggested by my friend Tarcisio, which has shown me some videos of other tools in other softwares that I think that could be useful here. Let me see how that could be implemented. And I came up with this solution. So let's say you have an object and you would like to, instead of using your original mesh, to attach this sphere to somewhere specific on your rig. So I'm going to select this sphere, and then I'm going to select my rig and enter in pose mode. So I can choose a bone and then click here, and then I can select object. So it's going to use the selected object and it's going to constrain it to the selected bone. So I'm going to just press, and then boom, our sphere jumps directly to the head. I'm going to scale it up because it's already in edit mode. So you can do editing here directly where the mesh is. And now if I press generate, it's going to use my sphere. So that allows you to keep adding objects like base objects wherever you want. These base objects, they are really low in topology, which allows you again to bake much faster these simulations and see your Onion skinnings appear in your screen much faster. So as you can see now, we are using the sphere here, and this bone constrained icon got highlighted. So if I press it again, I'm gonna deactivate this option. So if I just press this button without any object pre-selected, I mean any bone pre-selected, it's going to give you a different user experience. So take a look how this same tool has two working user experiences. I just show one that you select in advance the bone you want the object to be attached to. And now if you don't have any object selected and you just click this button, then this dialog box is going to appear and say, hey, could you please point me which rig you want to target your object? So I want in this rig, or maybe I can use the eyedropper and say that I want in the head bone. So now we have exactly the same result with a different working experience. So the add-on understands and tries to guide you through the process. For example, you could also do something like that. You don't have any object, any object here, pre-object here. You can use this menu to quickly add primitives for you. So if you have this bone selected, you could come here and say, I want to add a plane exactly on that bone I just selected. You click here, boom. The bone is now driving that object that got added just here, and it's already in edit mode, so you can start editing this exactly how you would like. So I can come here, I can extrude. I could even make it look more like a foot. So something like that. Or maybe do one more cut here. You got the idea. So you can do things like this, and this object is there generating Onion skinnings for you. Pretty cool, right? So another workflow for the same feature would be, for example, you already have your object, and you already have your object in the list of Onion skinning sources. So then you could make use of this little button. If no bone is selected, this dialog box is going to appear. But if you have a bone selected and you press this little button, boom, there you go. You're already creating Onion skinning for that selected object. Okay? So I think that pretty much covered the next features we are going to introduce on 3D Onion skinning. So thank you again for the support on the tool, which allowed me to keep working on this. There are more features on my roadmap that maybe I can talk a little bit later. And of course, if you can test these new features, please come to my Discord and send me a message. I can, if you are already a customer, I can provide this this version of the add-on for you, and looking forward to hear your feedback on that. Right? So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.